Good morning, everyone. I hope traders and investors alike were green yesterday. What a wild morning already. 3 scalps in, very early, still 5:36 here on the East Coast. Scalped HSTO, FWBI, and red box already. Yesterday we seen very heavy bearish flow, so there's no surprise we got this big gap down. We had 100%. If you set the scanners for or the filters for over a million, we got 100% bearish flow on IWM. We got 100% bearish flow on the Qs, which is unusual. The Qs are usually very mixed because of tech, and 76% bearish flow on the SPY with filters set for over a million, so only looking for big orders to kind of trim the noise out. Yesterday, we also mentioned how last week we had a low volume grind up week. The big traders were on vacation and they would be coming back, and there's a good chance we would see them pulling profits out of the market. So another no surprise that we pulled back yesterday. Another thing that we mentioned yesterday was that it was probably be a typical Monday chop around day. We were tight ranged, so we basically got what we were thinking. So let's look at some charts. We did not do a recap yesterday, so we'll mention a little bit about some things that we did yesterday while we're looking at some charts. AMC, we did push up out of this wedge. We'll take a look at the 15-minute chart here in a few minutes to see what we're looking like this morning, whether we have gapped down. Crude, we pushed right back up to the resistance level. Have this little hammer candle here, and we have gapped down this morning. Put the call ratio, we are still in the neutral range at 91, cooled off a little bit. Actually, yesterday we were 92. So the NASDAQ, which was overheated at 178 yesterday, has pulled back to a nice, cool, neutral 55. And the New York Stock Exchange is 17, so we have plenty of room to move in either direction. The US dollar, big candle yesterday. We talked about this and how it was pushing. The VIX actually pushed back up into resistance, almost back to the 9, and pulled back a little bit. Just a very small, tight range candle there. Remember, this chart only tracks, this is the VIX 15-minute. This chart only tracks during the market hours of the VIX. And you can see we gapped up into resistance, pulled back, went back into resistance. So basically we put in a little double top there. Now we're pulling back. So we have a double top. At the end of the day, this is not tracking what's going on right now, but at the end of the day yesterday, we had put in a double top, and you could have called a little action there on UVXY puts. Apple, so yesterday we pulled back, but we did end the day still holding the 50. AMD, no surprise, we had a lot of downgrades coming in for the whole semi sector except for Marvel. So we were looking at them with a bearish mindset. Affirm breaking back down into the wedge that it's been struggling with, trying to break out of. You can see Affirm's 15-minute chart here, big down candle. It opened, then chopped around. We're going to see a lot of charts look like that. AMC pulled back and then, basically ripped right back to its opening price. And if you're trading, you already know to keep an eye on your pre-market levels. You know how important the pre-market levels are. AMD, as you can see right here, we pulled back. We ended up grinding back up to the pre-market levels. Looks like we got just a hair above them. Tried to take that 50 out, got rejected. We have gapped down this morning. Amazon. So we talked about this area right here of resistance. Possible double top. You can see it pulling back from that area. You can see Apple has gapped down this morning. You see a big, it pulled back big time right into a support level and push yesterday. It did take out the pre-market levels. Filled that gap as well from where we gapped down yesterday, and we have gapped down again. So we have some gaps we could possibly fill today. You have the Apple weekly chart. We are still holding this 9. Very important that we hold that level. Boeing, this 140.49 area, we've literally done a video on this 140.49 area. There's money to be made at that area. Bitcoin has pulled back under 20,000 again. That 200 on that weekly is a powerful, powerful level that has to be taken out. If not, Bitcoin will be going down. See if we can come back and retest this support here. See if this support will hold this time. Boeing 15-minute chart, you can see we've gapped down right into a support area this morning. See if that'll hold. BMY, pretty flat yesterday. Looks like we're trying to push back up, but we have the 50 and the 20 there, the 9's wanting to come down. So pharma could be losing its, some of these pharma names could be pulling back and losing these nice runs that they've had. You got BTU, so you got a high, you got a low, you got a lower high, a lower low. Looks like we're putting in a lower high, very bearish candle there. You have a gravestone into the 9 moving average, very bearish. There's a good chance that BTU will be coming down. Chewy, we're still trading in this cup. You can see Chewy right here pull back just a little bit, and actually, we're expecting it to pull back and put in a handle there. Lily here, still above our major moving averages, still above this resistance level or support level for now. The 9's right here, we are respecting that. Stayed tight range day yesterday. ExxonMobil, very tight range yesterday. You can see we have gapped down this morning. Crude is down. GME chopping around yesterday, back above the moving averages. This is GME's 15-minute chart. You can see we pushed into this resistance level, got rejected right back into this resistance level, was able to take it out after hours. It had a pop and just chopping around there. But just take note that that is not gapping down like some of these other stocks are, like a lot of these other stocks are. The Q's rejection at that 50 yesterday. So in yesterday's video, we talked about some of these major levels that we have not taken out yet. If we can't take these levels out, the market is not going to rally like everybody's expecting. So 15-minute chart for the Qs, big gap down. We are under the support level, which is now resistance. The 9's coming down to apply pressure. That 9 acts as an anchor. This is the Q's weekly chart. Red candle yesterday, and you can see we are under the 9 here. We barely were able to take it out and get back down below it yesterday, which was a fear that we talked about last week. If we could not take that level out, we would be pulling back. TLT, we actually had an update yesterday. You can see we are under the 50, the 9 as well as acting as resistance. So we have some big areas there, but you could look at this like low. So you have a high, a low, a high, a low. So a high, a low, a higher high, a higher low. We could be continuing to push here. We have to take that 50 out. It's a big level. IWM, 100% bearish flow over 1 million yesterday. Some very big orders come in for this. So no surprise that it's down this morning. Let's see. So 6 orders come in yesterday, and it's rare to see flow over 1 million. And so we had 6 orders over 1 million. 1 million even, 3.6, 3.7, 3.3, 7.7, 1.2. Very bearish flow on the IWM. You can see a bear flag here. This bear flag we pulled back. I actually have one back here. We played that one, pulled back. This one pulled back. Uh, is this one? We need to confirm it by breaking to the downside. If we do, that'll be the third bear flag we've been able to make money on, just by watching the charts. IWM 15-minute, big gap down. MRO chopped around yesterday. Did have some nice opportunities for some short plays. Meta still under this wedge, pulling back. So we were watching Meta yesterday for a bearish play due to it having a big downgrade, and we've seen reactions on that in pre-market. So this was one of the ones we were watching, and you can see right here we stepped down in pre, another bear flag, big bear flag, and so basically the trading day we gapped down, put this bear flag in, lost it, put in a new low. This morning we have gapped down, but yesterday's action, so we had a bear flag in after hours, then that price target come in, the downgrade come in, put in another bear flag, gap down, went into the trading day, gap down, put in a bear flag, pull back, put in a new low. Kind of textbook play for what we were looking for the catalyst that we found in pre-market. Yes, price targets can act as a catalyst, only certain ones. Microsoft, down day yesterday as well. You can see it had a big pullback, recovered, actually was able to take out the pre-market levels, but did not quite fill that gap. So we still have a gap to the upside, and now gapping down, we have another gap to fill. Moving averages are coming down on top of the price action. Microsoft, still holding this 9 here on the weekly. MRO daily, 200 is support, 9 is resistance. Trying to put a diamond in there, which is a bearish pattern. Oxy, traded fairly flat yesterday, was chopping around. A big gap ahead of us or above us from yesterday where we gapped down. We have gapped down again. So on the SPY, well, we'll mention that when we get to the SPY. Oxy, chopping around there. Palantir, we mentioned that we had to take this tabletop out to push up, obviously. Pull back, testing that support level now. Let's see what the 15 looks like. Have tried to gap down a little bit. The support so far is holding. QCon, we mentioned this had some catalyst activity going on with it. Down day yesterday as well. Semis were just bearish yesterday. They were all getting downgrades, so we were looking at them with a bearish mindset. CRM still trying to hold these moving averages. You can see fairly flat pullback, come back, took out the pre-market levels, come in and took out yesterday's high, put us back on Friday's levels that we were unable to take out. SOFI pulled back, chopped around, tried to push up right at the end of the day. Not a big move out of it after the initial pullback. SOFI still in this wedge on the daily. So this is the SPY's weekly chart. We said yesterday we did not like last week's candle, and it looked like we were just going to continue in our downtrend. So we have the SPY here. So we're just trading. We have a gap below us, a gap above us, and now we're just constantly putting in more gaps. So there's just gaps everywhere now. Charts are getting pretty messy, to be honest. So we have a gap here from yesterday. We have this gap we just put in. And if you go back and look, like we just said, you still have a gap here that's unfilled. You still have this gap down here that's unfilled. And we just put in 2 more gaps in the last 2 days. So there's just gaps everywhere. Tesla weekly pulling back, testing this 9 here. Tesla has gapped down big time this morning. You can see the big pullback yesterday on Tesla. So we lost like $60. I was able to get some trades on that yesterday, but would like to have caught more of that move. I didn't. I'm happy with what I made. I just didn't really see the setups. Obviously, you can see we just chopped around with no momentum. We have gapped down this morning, lost like another $10 on that this morning. Anybody who held puts is probably will be pretty happy this morning with a $10 move. Upstart, gap down. Keep in mind, you can hold something on Tesla and it can move the other way very easily, and you can be very upset losing, getting a $10 move against you as well. Upstart, small gap, not a big of a gap as a lot of these other names. Wells Fargo, the banks were trying to push at the end of the day, but nothing really special out of them. I think Goldman Sachs, if I'm not mistaken, was the better looking bank. You can see tried to push, right back, tried to push, just chopped around. Big gap down this morning though. It's a gap. Banks are taking a beating. That's going to help drag IWM down today. If the banks continue to stay red, it's going to help drag the IWM down. So just keep that in mind. ExxonMobil's daily chart still under this 9 here. 9 looks like it's ready to roll down. Zim was a pretty flat day yesterday. It did pull back at open, recovered, respected the 200 though. See how this pullback tested the 200 and pushed? Zim, you can see the 9's resistance. We got to get above that 9 if this thing's going to want to push. And that concludes our video for today. I hope there's something in here that can help. I hope everybody has a good day. Stay green. Discipline will be key today. Patience, discipline, and I'll see you in the trading room. Good luck today. Protect that capital.